Hi everybody, Leap of Fate fans. Hope you guys are having a good day. It's yours truly, Randy Silver. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see we're live. This is a live episode, y'all. This is my friend Leanna. Y'all probably know her as the YouTube star, the Gem Goddess. She's on today to talk about how she created her YouTube channel, everything around YouTube, entrepreneurship, monetizing yourself, and why I'm really interested in is she's really done a good job at diversifying her assets. We're sitting in her house in Laguna Beach right now. It's so beautiful. She has a really nice car. She's got a lot going on for her. It's all because she's be able to create multiple revenue streams from what she's done as a Gem Goddess. So she's here today to give us a full hour's worth of information to make sure you understand how you can follow your dreams and you can create your dreams a reality.
Yes.
Ooh,
welcome. Thank you for having me on, Randy.
I'm so happy to do this live. Like the best podcast I had, people said, was with Sean when we did it like this with camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. So we get to do it here at your house. Yes. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming.
How's your day going?
It's going amazing. How's yours?
Good. So I feel like I gave everyone hopefully a good idea. Please, audience wants to hear. Tell us about yourself.
So I am essentially an online psychic astrologer. I do like tarot and astrology readings online on YouTube, and I also talk about manifestation, how to manifest your reality. I talk a lot about like getting through limiting beliefs to like attain your dream life and stuff like that. And I also make jewelry, and I sell crystals. And yeah, that's me. That's me in a nutshell.
How did you get into it? Because a lot of people probably say like, oh, I want to move into that, like, is there money there? So what got you started?
So first off, I got started into like esoteric stuff with my mom because she like...
Can you describe what that means?
Yeah, so esoteric stuff is like just anything sort of like spiritual or stuff that's uncommon. It's like hidden knowledge, so sort of like diving into like, like interesting... like history and magic and things like that is like what I'm like super interested in. So looking at like divination, and divination is essentially like a way of fortune telling through like astrology using the stars or using like other forms like tarot cards or things like that. So I got really into that with my mom when I was younger, and she like was super into those things, and I had like a lot of psychic experiences growing up. And so that's something that was always like my biggest passion, like my biggest hobby, but I never thought I could make a living doing it, especially because like I wanted to have like a lot of experiences of like being able to travel, being able to like, live a life and just experience as much as possible. But I didn't know if that would be sustainable being a psychic because, usually when I used to think about psychics, I used to think about people that were working on like the side of the road being like, buy a reading for $20, and I always thought like, oh, I won't be able to like travel to all my dream places if I'm only making $20 a day on the side of the road. And so I just never thought I could do it for a living, but it was the one thing that I was the most passionate about, and I had a hard time trying to like find my footing in the world for a while. Yeah, basically that's how I got into my esoteric stuff. Eventually, I just decided to like take a leap.
What were you?
Leap of faith.
The leap of faith?
A leap of faith into trying it out.
But what were you doing before you went into everything you're doing now?
I was an audio engineer, and then I was also a makeup artist a little bit before that as well.
Obviously. Look at her makeup, y'all. She's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, and I never even like took school for makeup, but I did it like little couple side jobs here and there because people just would always see, the way that I did my makeup, and they'd be like, oh, do my makeup for like this event or for this wedding or like, things like that.
I feel like that's how a lot of people start with their makeup. It's like they get really good at it doing their friends and they make it into a business.
Exactly. Yeah, I've totally seen that. And it's really inspiring and really cool to see. Then I was an audio engineer as well. I was really passionate about like music, but it wasn't my biggest passion. It wasn't where I was like interested in studying the ins and outs of it every single day. Like I love writing music, I love composing things, but it's not something that I feel like I have energy to do it every day. And so part of like something, if you're ever trying to do anything, is like finding something that you feel like you could do every day for the rest of your life.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then you took the leap of fate, product placement.
Yes, leap of fate.
Into YouTube to make it happen.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people are probably scared to go in front of a camera and, put yourself out there in the world. I didn't do video for the first year of my podcast pretty much. It was only audio. How did you get over that mental block of, I just need to put myself out there, start creating videos, and see what happens.
I was super nervous about it. And when I started YouTube, I don't feel like a lot of people know this, but when I started YouTube, I started doing like makeup and things like that. But
Makes sense based on what you said.
Yeah. And I was still like kind of nervous. I didn't think that there was like an online community for like spiritual people online. And I was also really nervous of what people would think about my belief systems and things like that, because it's like very unaccepted in certain
ways.
Like, yeah, in certain ways. So yeah, I mean, I started doing makeup on YouTube, and I was really nervous at first. Like, I didn't even tell any of my friends that I had a YouTube channel. I didn't tell.
What was the name of it?
It was like my first name and my middle name, which was Leanna Amory.
Is it still in YouTube, or did you take it down?
No, it's actually the same channel that I have now. All those videos are on private.
Maybe one day she'll release it for all of us.
Maybe we'll see. But yeah. Yeah, so that's how I started my channel, and I wasn't super passionate about it, and eventually like my friends and family, they all like found out eventually, because like eventually it comes up in conversation, I guess.
Yeah,
but,
what do you do with your Friday? Sound from a mirror?
Been filming videos,
Yeah.
And you get to like a certain number of subscribers, and you're like, oh, maybe I'll tell them, like, oh, I reached 1,000 subscribers, like maybe I could talk about it now,
Yeah, I feel confident.
Yeah. And so I was doing that for a while, but then I kind of like got burnt out because it just wasn't something that I was super passionate about, but I knew I wanted to like work from home and stuff like that. But eventually I was like, I'm going to dive right into it, and I'm going to try out doing what I'm really passionate about. And at that point, I'd kind of given up trying to make YouTube even something that I did for a living. I was just
Were you making money at this point?
No. Well, I'd made probably like $500 on YouTube out of the whole like 4 years that I was doing like makeup.
So you started like 2014, 2015?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. And yeah, I didn't make much money from it. And I was kind of, at this point, I was like, I love making YouTube videos, but I'd rather talk about what I'm super passionate about, and let's just do it, because that's what I love to do. And even if just one person watches it, that's cool. Even if no people watch it, that's fine. It's just something that I was passionate about. So I'm like, I'm just going to do it. And so I started doing it, and probably like 4 months into doing it, I had a video that like completely took off. And then YouTube became my full-time career like 1 month after that.
So let's just take a pause there. Mm-hmm. That video took off. Mm-hmm. Was there anything proprietary about it, anything unique, or it hit the algorithm and it just somehow got onto the page and it blew up?
Yeah, so it was pretty unique. It was a pick a card video, and it was the 2019 yearly prediction for the year 2019.
If you guys go right here or right there, wherever it is, I'll have the link for it so you can look at it.
Yes. And I was like I was kind of nervous doing tarot readings online. I've been doing tarot readings for like 10 years at that point. But I was still nervous because I was like, I'm doing this online. Like, what if my family sees this, or like, my friends, and what are they going to think about me doing tarot readings? Because like some of my family and my friends didn't even know that I did that stuff. And I've been already doing it for 10 years. And so I was like, this is just, I was kind of nervous, but I was like, I love doing it. Let's just do it. And so I made that video, and pick a cards were like trending at that time, and I was already doing like tarot readings online. I was doing like daily tarot for a time, but those videos are on private now. But I was doing that, but daily tarot didn't really pick up. But then doing a pick a card video all of a sudden just like took off, and I was like, oh whoa, because that was like something that a lot of people were getting into. And
so can you describe the difference? What's the difference between a daily and then a tarot video?
Oh yeah, so daily tarot, I was pulling cards for like the energies of the day every single day, and it'd just be like a very generic reading for like anyone that was watching. But with pick a cards, I essentially make different groups of like piles for a specific topic. So for example, like your 2021 year prediction, then there'll be like 5 different piles, and then before getting into the video, you look at the different piles on the screen, and you're like, ooh, I'm attracted to pile number 3, and then you scroll down, you click a little timestamp, and then you skip ahead to that like pile, and that'll be like your personal prediction. So there's like different piles, so it's more unique. It's a bit more like encompassing to like
everybody.
Exactly.
And y'all, like, again, I will link a video, the one that she just did. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So like you literally like you could watch the whole video, but if you only care about pile 3, as she said, then you just can go through the timestamps, and it makes it so interactive. How many YouTube videos are you just sitting there and just you're watching, you're not doing it? She's making you click and go through. So I'm sure like in some type of way that probably helps the algorithm, because people are like clicking throughout your video and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. And like there's people that are clicking either on this pile or this pile, and I think it does help the algorithm actually. Yeah.
And you probably, when you look at your analytics, it's like spikes dip, depending where people click
yeah,
and everything.
Exactly, depending on the pile that they chose, and then YouTube's like, oh wow, there's these really like peak points in her videos. They're really cool. You know, this is probably how it works. I don't really know.
So to create that type of video, how much time does it take you in the pre-work, and then obviously the post-work? I'm sure there's a lot of editing to make sure it's done correct as well.
Yes, and I actually used to be really meticulous about the way that I edited them, and now I've gotten like really comfortable. So now, because I've like harnessed a sort of like rhythm now, and I've gotten so used to filming them, now it's like really easy, whereas before it would take me like 6 hours to film one video.
Holy smokes.
But now it's kind of like I've gotten so used to doing it, it's just like such a subconscious thing now. So now I just like shuffle the cards, do the piles. I don't look at what the cards are. There's some people that are like, oh, do you actually like plan out what the cards are?
I wish you have the cards around here. Can we bring them right here?
We could definitely grab a deck. I probably have a deck like right
Go get it. Go get it. I'll pause. So if you guys are on listening to audio, she's getting her cards really quick. But I want to give you guys, again, the experience to come to the YouTube and make it a more better experience. So that's why she's going to bring the cards out here. So please come to the YouTube and watch. I'll take a moment, because I didn't do it at the beginning, and say thank you, fans, wherever you're watching or you're listening on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube. Thank you so much for all your support every week. Please follow me or her. Her link's in the bio. Please subscribe, rate, review, whatever you do. I bought enough time now. Leanna, Gem Goddess, I guess we got to say now because you got him out, is here.
Woo, yes.
So can we get a quick 1 minute demonstration of what you do?
Yeah, so essentially I just like shuffle these cards. Usually I get like multiple different decks for a video, and say we're going to do a topic like, how's Randy's love life going to be in 2021? Let's find out. So, you know, you take the cards, you shuffle them, you lay them out. And
please be good. Please be good.
Let's find out, I guess. So you like pick some cards, you put them in a pile. You don't even look at which ones. You just kind of pick what you're called to, right? And so you pick however many you want there. Or sometimes you wait for a card to fall out. And then here you have your pile. And so I usually make like multiple piles like this for a broader topic, if it's a broad topic. Then we basically start filming. You start recording. You make the layout really nice, and then I just begin talking. We just get right into it, and I don't even edit like the words anymore. Like even if I, stumble upon words, I kind of just keep it in there now, because these videos end up being like sometimes an hour to 2 hours long. So going through all the audio and editing out like the ums, the ahs, and like the stuttering it would take so long, right? So now I kind of just like, I don't even edit the audio. I kind of just cut towards the cards of and then put cool effects on it and then export it. And so usually now it takes me like about 3 hours to finish a whole video from like start to end.
It used to be 6, now it's 3. Mm-hmm. So you have double the time to do like more stuff.
Exactly.
So let's see what my love life's gonna be like.
Let's find out.
Let's find out. You heard it here first, fans.
Oh my god. Wait. Look at the first card. I don't even have to be a tarot reader to tell you what that means.
I'm gonna find my love, y'all.
Oh my gosh, you also have the Page of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Star. So I do think you're going to meet somebody in 2021.
Ooh. It's not the Gem Goddess, though, don't worry. So if you're out there, slide in my DMs. Yep. Obviously, it's going to be a good day for me.
It might be an earth sign for you.
I'm very earthly.
Yep.
So you do this on your YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And how many fans do you have? Or how many subscribers do you have?
I have 730K.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
When you first started, did you have a goal?
I didn't, honestly. I did not even... Well, I think when I first started YouTube, I wanted it to like be my full-time career when I was doing makeup, but then I realized I wasn't that passionate about it. And when I started it for like spirituality, I was kind of just like, this is just what I love, and I don't even care if I make money from it. So I didn't really have a goal at that point. Now we have goals, though. Now we have goals. I'm like, oh wait, this is going. So
what are the goals for you? 1 million by the end of 2021?
Well, that would be a cool goal. That would definitely, yeah. Let's add that as a goal. That
on the
sounds
checklist.
Great. That sounds great. That would be really cool to, it's
Do you know how many subscribers you're growing a week?
That is a great question. That is a great question. There's times that I think it grows around 1,000 a day, and then times that it grows like 1,000 every 2 days. That's kind of like the average. So
you're getting like 500 people then a day.
Yeah.
So if we do that, you said you're at 750,000.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can do basic math in my head like that. So that would be every day or 1,000. That puts you at 50,000. So then that would be 50 days. So you would need 50, 100, 150. You would need like 300 days to hit 1 million.
Okay, that's fine. If it happens next year, that's cool.
Yeah, which is actually, we're on track, kind of.
Yeah, that'd be
well, this
totally
video
fine.
will get you another 1 million subscribers, so we'll just say 2 million now.
Yes, and I'm not like someone who focuses on numbers too much, but it is such a cool thing to say, like something that you're so passionate about has inspired, and the feedback that comes through and people saying that it like really helps them is something that inspires me more than anything.
I was just saying that was my next question is, what is the comments like? And people like, oh my God, you like changed my life. We had After School on in episode 3, and he talked about how his videos, literally people comment and say like, you made my day, or you literally changed my life from this moment. And he always posts that on his Instagram, so please follow him. But like, I'm sure you get the same type of thing.
Yeah. So on my channel, I've been noticing that I get a lot of people, like for example on a pick a card video, the feedback's a little bit different depending on the type of video, but like astrology videos and pick a card videos, those ones seem to get like a ton of really great feedback of people just saying like it was really accurate for them and it really resonated and helped them understand more, and it usually offers guidance too for people. And so the feedback on there is amazing. And then feedback on like, I do meditations and things to help people manifest their dream life, and just hearing that it's really working for others, because I share a lot of the things that I used in my life that really worked for me. Like I talk about water manifestation, which is a really like kind of like crazy esoteric idea, but it really helps. And there's like meditation that I talk about, and then other people using those methods that I've used and them saying like, oh my gosh, I manifested my dream apartment when I didn't even think it was attainable for me, and they end up manifesting it within 1 month. Like it's crazy. And so like reading that is like super inspiring to me, and just knowing that
you're making a positive impact in people's lives.
Yeah, I love it. I'm someone who's always believed in like the power of manifestation and the power of your mind as well. And like the book that's sitting right there, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. That book is amazing and takes kind of like an esoteric thought about how your mind can actually like change what is attainable for you and actually change so much of your life. And usually when people talk about the law of attraction, it seems so woo-woo and so magic, which it kind of is. Like I like to believe in magic, but there's also such like a hard science behind the fact of how your perception leads you to everything. And you can change the entire course of your life by changing your perception in this moment, because the choices that you make are based on your current perception of reality. Your current reactions, thinking patterns, emotional habits, and things like that lead you to making certain choices every time you're presented with something, right?
Very true.
And so even a slight change in the way that you perceive yourself and the way that you perceive the outside world and getting past the limiting beliefs that you have can alter so much, because then you're going to start taking new action, you're going to start making new choices when you're presented with new things, and that's going to lead you down an entirely different path, and then you're going to end up at a goal that you never even thought was attainable for you.
I love that. You used like a buzzword I think is very popular nowadays, is power of manifestation. Can you describe what that means? I feel like a lot of people say manifest your destiny, like believe in it, but like what does that actually mean to you?
So for me, manifesting your destiny means making like a deliberate decision of what you want in your life and going after that, like taking deliberate action towards that to make that happen. And so, a lot of us are kind of on autopilot, and we think that our world is like our fate and our destiny isn't in our control, and we cannot change the things that come our way, like the obstacles that end up coming our way and things like that. And I believe that we actually do have control over that, and I believe that we actually run into those ourselves. I don't think that those are presented to you. I think that you create everything in your reality. That's my belief.
And obviously you created this reality for yourself. We're in your house. We're doing all this together. So I love that. And I want to take it kind of a different way now, is the entrepreneurship side of you. Obviously, like you said, YouTube pays money, but you've been able to create different revenue streams for yourself where you're able to sell gems and be able to do other stuff. So can you talk about that and how you've been able to have that mindset to turn it from one thing to now I have all these different streams coming in for me that I'm able to produce revenue for?
Yeah, so when I actually started my online store, I knew I wanted to sell crystals because it was just kind of like an idea that I had, and had a friend that sold crystals, but she wasn't like pursuing it to actually do it. She kind of just did it once in a while at like specific events, and I just thought it was like one of the coolest things. And so I was like, I want to open up like an online store for gems, and I want to like sell them. And so I had $300 to my name at the time. And I took that $300. I got a wholesale license, and I went to a gem show, and I was like, okay, let's wholesale
let's
some
get some
gems.
gems.
You know, and I spent my $300, and I only got like, and like crystals are expensive, so I think I only got like a pretty small lot of crystals. But then I opened my store, and I was like, here you go, guys, like there it is. And I remember my first sale was like 2 days after I opened up my store, and I was like so excited about it. And I probably like in that 1 month I probably only had like 3 sales on my store, but I was like so stoked about it. But I took the profit of whatever I sold, and I would just reinvested it right back in. And now like I have a store that's like 5 figures a month.
How can they find you?
Thegemgoddess.com.
Got it. Okay, so keep going.
Yeah. So yeah, I basically
5
just
figures. Woo! Young money.
I mean, it's the low 5 figures. Let's be honest. Let's be real. But like, it's there. But yeah, and I still run it all myself. I had a friend help me for like a little while as well, which was really nice. But hopefully, I'll be able to hire some employees soon. But yeah, it's like something that I just love doing it. I love being able to create jewelry. I started creating jewelry as well because I loved crystals, and I was like, you know what, I want to create jewelry where you can like wear them and wear the crystals because I believe in like crystal energy and stuff like that. And yeah, so I basically took that $300 and started reinvesting it every time I made a profit. Like if I made $600 back, then I'd go buy crystals, and I wouldn't even take a profit for myself until I was making a decent amount. And I still don't even take like a humongous profit of whatever I'm selling every month. I just reinvest it back into the business. Yeah, like I want to expand that. I want to be able to offer more, and I have a lot of like creative ideas in my mind of like what I want to create with the jewelry business. And so to be able to sustain those ideas, I basically don't take much profit from the store, and I'd like take all of the other profits, and I'm like, okay, these are going to be like the creative ideas of what I have for the store in the future.
And who taught you all this? Or you just like taught yourself?
I did. I mean, I took some of these ideas from different people that I've known in my life. Like I had this one friend that was starting a clothing business like way back in the day, and he talked about how he would like reinvest all of his money right back into his merch because it was basically like a merch line, and I just thought that was like the smartest thing ever. So I did learn that from there, and then a lot of it has been also like intuitive and just kind of like feeling what's right and knowing that like, you know, watching different other patterns. And I've definitely read some books about like business and stuff like that, and it's all about putting energy back into the business. You know, some people start making like a really good income, but then they get so excited and they're like, I'm gonna spend my money on this, I'm gonna spend my money on that, I'm gonna like buy all these things. But then at the end of the day, you're like, wait a minute, how do I keep my business running? How do I keep sustaining that? You know, you need to have like leverage room just in case of like certain times, or like maybe you want to come out with a new product, because if you just keep like the same products going and going constantly, sometimes it gets a little bit like dry. So making sure that you have enough to like still be creative, making sure that you're doing something where you can be creative.
And what would be the next evolution for you to continue to supply for your audience?
The next thing, well, I'm working on like, because at the moment
you heard it here first.
I can't quite keep up with the amount of orders that I get for like jewelry anymore, actually. So I keep like selling out. It's not necessarily that I'm like sold out of product. I could make more product, but I'm only one person making the product, and so I'm like, I cannot.
Do you store it here at the house?
Mm-hmm, I do, yeah. And I can't like keep up with the amount of orders that I would get, and so I'm like, I can only make this amount of like orders per month, and so I'm kind of like capped out at the moment.
So I feel like I took you off the screen.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, so I feel like I'm kind of capped out with how much I can actually like do at the moment. So I'm working on getting manufacturers and like designing jewelry, and then getting the manufacturers to make it, and that way I can keep up with like a larger.
Would you need a warehouse or something for that?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's the next level, and like, do you have a mentor, or do you have people who help you get to that next level?
You know what? I wish I could say I did have a mentor in this. I kind of like look and I get inspired by other businesses that I see. I don't have like a personal mentor, but I do have a friend that I also, she opened up her own store, which is really cool. And so she has that, and we kind of like bounce off of each other when we kind of have certain ideas in mind. So yeah.
I love that. So you're literally kind of bootstrapping everything on your own. So for like someone out there who's listening, like if they wanted to do what you did, what would be the first thing you would say to start?
Okay. First thing to start is, I guess, like the basics of like researching what licenses you need, because that's something that I did not know at all.
In terms of what? Like when you say licenses, like what do you need to be able to do what you do?
So getting like a business license. Like if you're going to start a business,
Like LLC, everybody.
Yeah, so like LLC, S corp.
I have an LLC for Leap of Faith as well. Just like so, like it's a good thing to protect you because say anything ever happens in the business, then they wouldn't take your personal assets. It's only the business that would get taken down.
Exactly, because it stands for like limited liability company. So like you have less liability if something ever happens. And it's always like good to have a business, in my opinion. You could also do it without a business depending on like what you're doing. But if you're doing resale of any kind, you will need like a wholesale license and stuff like that. So like getting started, research what you need, but also keep the creativity flowing because sometimes it can get you kind of like bummed out when you have to look at all like the back end, because that stuff's not fun, right? That's not creativity. But like it is important to know those things. So know those things, have a lot of fun with it. Make sure that you choose something that you're inspired by. You don't have to know exactly what the finished end goal is going to look like. Like know what goal that you want to attain, but realize that it's going to go further and further even after that. And even if it's taking you a while to attain that one goal, taking one step towards it every day is going to help. A lot of people get kind of like tired or burnt out because their end goal is like so big. They're like, oh, I want to make like 10K in 1 month, but maybe it's like super far away. And you're like, I've made $5 this month. How is that possible? Keep taking steps forward, right? Because don't give up just because it's something that seems hard, right? It's hard to climb a mountain. You're looking at the top and you're like, oh my God, it's taking forever. But guess what? If you just keep walking, you're gonna get to the top. If you keep moving, if you keep going, you're gonna get there.
So like what you're saying is realistic goals. Maybe the 5-year goal is $10,000 a month, but in the first year, your goal is just to make $100.
Right, but still keep the goal for the 1 year. So if you're still think big. So if you still want to make that 5K in 1 year, keep that as your goal, because if you keep that as your goal, as your 1 year goal, even if you don't hit that, you're gonna be a lot further along than you would have been if you like stretched it out to 5 years. But don't be disappointed if you didn't reach it in 1 year, but just try your best to reach it. If that is your goal, try to reach it. But yeah, don't feel like it's impossible if you do not reach it in that first year. Don't get down on yourself and feel like, oh, it's impossible.
I agree. Like I'll be like vulnerable for a second. Like my YouTube channel has 98 subscribers, 97. I would have figured by this point, there you go, I'll give a pound. Yeah. I would have figured at this point, I would have hopefully 500, 600 in a year. I'm not there, but like I'm not discouraged by that because I know there's 98 people who look forward to this content every week, or the Instagram videos or the vlog videos. So I know, as she just said, baby steps. My goal is to get to 100. Once I get 100, my goal is going to be 200, 300, 400. And slowly the ball will keep going, and I'll get to those overarching goals, which is, for me, getting to 1,000 subscribers, and then getting to, was it like 4,000 hours on YouTube to start getting paid?
I think so. 4,000.
So like, I'm not there yet, but I know when I work at it, and again, thank you all for the feedback that you guys all give me. You love what I put out there. And if one person, as she said, you make a difference in their life, that's all that matters. Exactly. That's all that matters.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's like the exciting thing, is like knowing the impact that you make, because even like one person can impact so much.
Yeah, and you're impacting my viewers by being here and sharing so much knowledge. So I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Anything else that you would like to talk about that we haven't touched on yet?
If you're wanting to attain your goals and your dreams in your life, I think most of it deals with getting past your limiting beliefs. I know for me, getting past my fear of not being worthy enough, because there's times that I used to worry about like, am I even a good enough card reader? I was like, I've only been reading for 10 years. And 10 years might sound like a lot for other people, but at the time I was feeling still like super nervous. I felt like
the person with the cardboard box on the side of the street been 30 years.
Exactly, literally. So I was like, am I good enough? Do I have what it, can I offer value? And so getting past that, and then also getting past the fear of like, what are other people going to think of me? Because I was going into something where I was like a closet spiritualist. I felt like me talking about
I like that term, closet spiritualist.
Closet spiritualist. I was like, I don't want to be judged for it. I don't want people to think that like I'm a bad person or anything like that, because sometimes there's bad connotations that come with it. Even though to me it's all love and light. So for me, it's putting out light. And so getting past the beliefs of what other people are going to think of you, getting past your own limiting beliefs of like, can I actually do it? Because a lot of people think like, oh, if I'm starting from this place, we all have these certain reasons, which I recommend reading that Think and Grow Rich book, because that one will change your life, you guys. That one's a life changer. And it helps you really ask yourself deep questions about, do you think that you can't do it because you are too old? Do you think you can't do it because you're too young and you don't know enough? Or do you think you can't do it because, there's all sorts of different reasons. There's certain alibis that we give to ourselves. And these are just alibis because the ego wants to protect itself. The ego's like, oh, if I have this excuse, it validates why I don't have it yet. It validates why I can't get it, because it's a scary thing to go step outside of your comfort zone to chase after something that you don't know what's going to happen, right? You know, it's such an unknown place,
especially in a public forum, the internet, where everyone can see it.
Everyone can see it, so everyone can judge it. And you know, you're doing something for like 5 years, and like, what are people going to say if it hasn't taken off yet? Like, you know, are people going to judge that? But you know, getting past those things and just being like, no, this is what I'm passionate about. I'm doing it regardless. I don't care if I have 1 subscriber after 5 years of doing it. If you're passionate about it and you want to do it, go after it, do it, and you know, eventually it's going to take off. If you keep taking steps towards something every day, eventually it is going to get somewhere, because you cannot keep walking on this earth and not eventually reach your destination. You're going to reach it eventually. You're going to reach obstacles. You know, if I walk from here to New York, I'm gonna reach like a river. I'm gonna reach like some construction. You know, I'm probably gonna reach some like, you know, walking through the desert with no water. You know, and you gotta crawl, and you're like, oh my god. You know, there's lots of different obstacles that you can reach when you're going to your goal. But if you have the willpower, the determination to get through it, you can do anything. And a lot of it is just you standing in your own way.
You literally put the whole leap of fate in that like 2 minutes right there.
Oh.
Literally, that's literally everything we talked about. You all know, like she talked about it. Literally, just to recap, if you believe in yourself, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of roadblocks, but when you take it day by day, step by step, you're going to hit those milestones, and you're going to make your dreams become a reality. And that's what we're talking about here all the time. And you epitomize the leap of fate, because you took the leap on yourself and you put yourself out there, and you're living your dream.
Yes.
You're living your dream.
Thank you. Yes. And it was something that like I did not think was attainable in the beginning. I had a hope for it, but I didn't know if it was fully attainable. But I was like, you know what, if I keep taking steps towards this, I think eventually like it could be something. And you know, I did want to work from home, and I was passionate about what I did. So I was just like, I'm just going to keep doing it. And if it does take off, I'm going to be stoked about it. If it doesn't, oh well. But like, I'm just going to keep doing it regardless, because I love it. And so I just kept doing it. And
you like, look at her smile, y'all. Like, I know maybe you guys can definitely hear her smile through the audio, if it's audio, but if you're looking at YouTube, she's been smiling the whole time. Like, I want y'all to have that same passion for whatever you're doing. If it's sales, marketing, YouTube, like, live your life in the moment and live your life doing what you do, because truly, YOLO. We literally YOLO.
YOLO. Exactly. So like, yeah, just let the reasonings go away, because there's no reason why you cannot do and cannot have, like, even if it's like some sort of like even in that Think and Grow Rich book, it talks about like, if you have certain like ailments or whatever, like you can't do it because like I have a broken hand. How can I be an artist if I have a broken hand? How can I be a musician if I'm blind? You know, there's blind musicians that have been, what's that guy's name? I forgot his name.
Ray Charles?
I think so.
Stevie Wonder?
Stevie Wonder, yes. So like, there's been people who have come from all walks of life that have made their dreams a reality, even in the face of like such adversity. So if you need some inspiration, go look up those people and see what they've done, because like there's an unlimited world of possibility, and people have done the extraordinary even in the most like uninhabitable situations, I guess, for lack of a better word. Like
real talk. And the professional segue here. If people want to look up you and see more about you, how can they find you?
On YouTube, I'm the Gem Goddess. thegemgoddess.com is like my store. The Goddess Gem on Instagram is me, and that's
a pretty cool name, the Goddess Gem.
Yeah,
the only.
Yes, it means it's because I'm a Gemini, and I love gems and crystals, and I love like Greek mythology. So Gem Goddess.
She's amazing. Yeah. So everything she just said will be in the bio. However you're listening, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube. My name is Randy. This is Leap of Fate. This is the Gem Goddess, also my friend Lena. Thank you guys so much for listening today or watching today. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, Randy.
So do you know the sign off?
No, I don't know the sign off. Show me the sign off. Can we do it together?
All right, so we're going to look at 3 different cameras. We go 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Repeat after me.
Okay.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
Stay wealthy.
Stay wealthy.
Have a good week, fans.
Have a good week, fans.
Deuces! Bye, everybody. Have a good week. Thank you for coming on.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me.